Hello everyone. Since the launch of Sisters of Parvos, I have spent my time grinding for the needy, for the essentials. The essential in my understanding is the Galvanized mods, the Arcanes. The mods are quite easy to get, but not the Arcanes. You have to farm your gut out for the Arcanes in all the Steel Path missions, especially Defense, Excavate or Survival. I derived a slightly easier method to lessen the pain, but unfortunately time to invest, there is no escape to it. There's no shortcut to it. The only one shortcut is if you are rich or if you have a lot of plats, you can buy it. And one piece of Arcanes for Arcane Merciless goes for 25 plats now, and one full set last check was 600 plats. Of course, the price will drive down later on as soon as people get whole and the supply is more than what we have now. Now it just launched and people does not have that much stock. When Steel Path mission become a routine, price will go down. That one is for sure. But for now, since they are essential, we have no choice but to grind it so that the guns are on par in terms of damage output. Let's look at the build. I'm not saying these are the only builds that you can go for. I would say Mesa, Sarin, Inaros and the Gloom Wukong are all feasible for this kind of farming. I ended up doing it solo most of the time, except one instance, because I still don't see a lot of people grinding. They may have better team formation, and in fact having a full squad make your life easier. Bit boring, but life easier. But if you are forced into solo grind, Wukong or Inaros probably is your best bet. If you bring Inaros, you need to ensure you have good weapons to take down the enemies. This is my build. You can see I am still one rank away from max rank, and by max rank the reload speed can be reduced or improved, but it doesn't eliminate it altogether, which makes it that much of pain to use in the high level mission. You pretty much still need your melee weapon for high level mission just to survive. I have swapped out my status mod into the full damage cold mod, in particular for the Ogris, because with Galvanized aptitude it can make up for the loss of status chance percent. I find Nukor to be very handy in farming or staying alive in the survival mission. I'll show you why later. The secondary Merciless seems to have a better drop chance than the primary Merciless. Probably it's just luck. So I have a viral Nukor. You can do corrosive as well. Last but not least, bring your melee weapon. This is still my usual melee weapon build. Condition Overload, Blood Rush, although being nerfed, they are still okay. Berserker Fury looks okay once its speed ramps up, but the initial speed is admittedly slow, given the on-kill condition. Bring Naramon when you are using melee, and you will be using melee for Steel Path long missions, because when you are surrounded, no matter how good your guns are, you still need to reload, and in those reload out time, you can be one-shotted if you are not having any means to defend yourself. So melee is still needed. I'm just not sure why is it nerfed so badly for such an essential use of weapon. Bring Naramon for the power spike to slow down your combo counter. The newly available Galvanized mods and the Arcanes has built-in mechanism that slowly ram down the counter instead of missing it or wiping out altogether. That's a plus for DE. I wonder when can we eliminate this in melee. By now I guess it's clear that DE fears AoE weapons. Anything that can do AoE, especially melee or guns with AoE effect or even frame with AoE effects, it gets nerfed, so-called balanced to a point where sometimes it's unusable or overdue. That is unfortunate. I personally prefer the survival missions than defense because the spawning of Acolyte is quite consistent. Usually within 5 minutes time frame it will spawn. Sometimes 4.5, sometimes slightly late. but it will spawn like on the dot. If you have Stalker spawn in the first 2-3 minutes, then unfortunately it may spoil your experience, because Stealth Path Stalker is really a hard nut to crack for its ability to disable your ability. Unlike the Acolytes where you can just take them down with Gloom, the slowdown effect makes them look dumb and making the killing all the more easier. And because the spawning is consistent, you get to choose when you want to enter or extract, or when Stalker breaks your revive counts, you can extract as needed. Do bring in a good companion. I have Panzer with Link health. If you bring Inaros, the health is 16-17k. It will practically never die as long as you melee, provided your build has Hunter recovery. And since it has the self-revive mechanism, this ensures that you have the companion throughout your mission. And this also works as a Arcane Grace, sometimes better than Arcane Grace because there's no cooldown. So I highly recommend this one for a long stay. Now let's head into the mission and see how we can make our life easier. We can either go to Kelashin or Ares Zabala. Let's go for this one. As you can see, there's not much open squad to it. I was mostly doing it solo. By the way, I have added Gloom to my Inaros build. This is how you make your life easy. Keep doing this for 5 minutes. Watch out for your life support percent and you will be good. And finger crossed that Stalker doesn't spawn and take away some of your revives. And if ever you have a trade to make, you can always quit at the 5 minutes point and come back. There's nothing to lose. You will still get your Arcanes session by session of every 5 minutes spawn. Go for a slanting 45-degree angle and they will come to you. You don't need to come to them. I'm using a controller, so I practically need to disable my vibration so that it doesn't numb my hand. And if it's too tiring, you could just use a rubber band to hold your trigger button, the right trigger, and move around. Or else staying for long is going to be finger numbing and break your finger. The squad mate make your life easier, particularly when they are self-sustained. Catchmoon is a viable option than your Nukor in output because it has the Pax Seeker Arcane that actually can chain your headshot 6-digit damage to the nearby enemies, 4 at a time. So start looking at your Kitgun damage, Kitgun builds. It may surprise you with the headshot boost. Of course, you may not need the Deadhead Arcane to function well. You can always use back the Merciless. Just make sure you slot in a Pax Seeker for your Kitgun. So if you want to make some quick lats, now is the time. The longer it drags, the lower the price will go. For the first 1-2 weeks, a whole set of grind from your hard work may return you some few hundred plats. It's worth grinding for. That is 10 to 20 plats per 5 minutes. So why not? But I'm sure the market will soon saturate and the cost will go down to maybe 5-10 plats a piece. In another few months time, this will be low in price. So grind when you can, earn when you can. The other reason why I go for Infested Survival is because of their nature of charging towards you instead of hiding in the corner shooting at you and you need to hunt them down. So in this case, they come to you, you just do the killing and the spawn will keep coming. The Gloom make them run slower, chop easier, and then continue to point and shoot. And don't get me wrong, you don't need the full set of the Merciless Arcane to be this powerful. Your Galvanized mods will be good enough for that purpose to give you 6-digit numbers. So you should be fine going into at least half an hour or more into the survival game. Just make sure you don't die of the toxin prop that is spilled on the floor. Aim high level, aim at eye level so that you can get their heads, and that gives you that much bit of extra damage for headshots running around killing enemies. Again, if you are doing solo, don't run around like this. Go camp in a room, shoot out at 45 degree angles and it will chain to the incoming infested and kill them all for you. You don't even need to move that much, except for the slight adjustment of aim. Keep squeezing that trigger is all you need to do. It's easy when you have 2 players as a squad. I did it last night solo. When melees spawns, it kind of do a lantern effect on me, and I keep bouncing off, floating into the air. And I'm also facing some weird bug where if I use my Ogris to blast the acolyte, despite no self damage, I end up dead. Were they one striking me, or was that because of the Ogris? That part I'm not sure. I can't verify, but it occurred to me like a few times. So in essence, don't use Nukor as your static spraying status anymore. Just use it as a weapon. It's still viable given the recent buff and the mod buffs. 200k damage, and if your companion health is too low, just do a bit melee and then come back your pew pew. And this is the improved reload speed as provided by the Arcane Merciless. 1-2 seconds only. I should have given him that Gloom treatment earlier. This is the kind of room that I always camp. Just hold up, shoot out, and wait for them to come to you. And they will come to you, especially when you are solo. Unfortunately, I'm not solo this round. Or was it fortunate? This is the favorite room that I camp as they keep coming. I reckon your Atomos can do the same. If you have a good build, try that. And of course, if you can put in your Prime Sure-Footed, it will make your life much easier. Because as the level goes up, the Ancient will keep wiping you off your feet. And when you land on a toxin pond, you are pretty much risking your life if you are down. So Prime Sure-Footed, it ensures that you can still reload while you are being knocked away and stay up from the knockdown effect. You can always, of course, melee your way through, which is what I did last night with an Inaros, Panzer, and another randomly matched user with a Lavos. We both chop our way through for an 120 minutes play. Export like this is gonna make the chaining very deadly for the infested. It looked dumb doing that in a slow motion. I still remember in the old days they nerfed Nukor for being powerful. So now look at this DE. They make all guns powerful. And I forgot to sprint all this. Wow, it really was a walk in the park. Well, I guess that makes a good thumbnail title for my video. That's the Prime Sure-Footer in action. The Ancient tried to pull me and instead push me instead. And my gun's still up. I can even still reload while doing it. And that is important going into high level mission, because one knockdown can easily get you killed. Prime Sure-Footed become an essential. Did you see that? There's a 6-digit damage and 600k damage. With gun system at large, the Prime Sure-Footed mod will become an essential for all the builds, upcoming builds. I newly added in my Prime Sure-Footed into my Inaros last night, honoring him the Umbra Forma that long due for it, as it's been a while I did not play Inaros. But now look at what I can do with Inaros. SlowMo treatment. No energy. Park and kill. The strategy is simple. When you park and kill, you retain I retain my energy pool for the occasion when the acolyte spawns. I'll just cast the Gloom, or else I'll just keep it there. For Inaros, he doesn't need ability. His ability is his health pool. 40 minutes in, I'm still doing a walk in the park. Thanks to the stunning effect, once the shot chain onto them, they can't harm you, and the other enemies that approaches will get chained in once the current one dead. So you are safe, and no amount of fall out can change that. Where is he? Okay, SlowMo treatment. 2 of course is better than 1. I have much harder time when I was soloing. So up until this point, I have spent around 4-5 hours at least into the farming. Initially it was tough. Wukong keep dying, but with the model established, I think this now become a walk in the park. Thanks to the charging nature of the Infested, this is made a lot easier, and the fact that they don't have armors, it make it even easier for you to pull through the 5 minutes points for yet another response. If you recognize the map, if you remember the map, this will become another good spot to camp if you are soloing. Just point out, wait for them to come, and wait for that damage to change. And of course, having a squad mate disrupting the energy, the enemy spawn rates. So let's hack back in. SlowMo. So yeah, the Arcane are essential. And I still believe the Merciless Arcane is the way to go, be it for primary or secondary. If you look at the top right corner, you will see how the Arcane slowly ramp down instead of reset back to 0. That is done without any special mods or capability or focus school that is built in. It's the correct way of design. I just wonder why Melee needs one to change that with a mod or even the power spike Naramon scoop. I think I've covered almost all aspects today. If you find this helpful, please leave your like, share and subscribe. It helps to support the channel, give us motivation to continue, to provide you better content. See you in the next video. Hope you enjoy the drop and hope you enjoy the legendary MR test. Some said they feel back to square one, back to bronze. I feel the same for them, and it's for the same reason I'm not eager for the MR rank up anymore. Probably MR 30 is a good one for the blessings and additional slots, but beyond that, I'm not seeing a good reward or return out of that other than the hosting opportunity. And given the mod design, there is no reason for carrier prime anymore. As you can see, my ammunition never went below. It's now the era of companions, not sentinel. Carrier no longer serves the needs. Helios prime, because of the nerf, is dead. It's all companion now. Perhaps with the latest hound system, maybe with the Panzer or even Smita, just not sentinel. Thanks to the enemies around, I can quickly ramp up. Is it that? No. Go to your SlowMo mode and die. Go back to the Pew Pew mode. We now have level 200 enemies. SlowMo. This is the lantern mode that I was saying. Here you can see the Panzer, although that's still spiking with his viral proc every 4 seconds, which means your health is preserved. And it will regen in 90 seconds. Perfect for long endurance runs. Here to showcase the melee 12x slash damage build for Kronen without Riven. Oh hi. Lantern. When there's no one around, the enemy will spawn from the room. But when you occupy the room, enemies will not spawn here and you can just camp. If you are using primary like Ogris, you time your shots when in late game like this. 3 bullets means pew 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 in that rhythm, and then you know when you need to evade. And you're out, let him reload, engage, 3 shots, and then evade. With prime sure-footed, you can shoot on the feet. I can foresee that the additional improved reload time with the Arcane Merciless will help guns like Ogris because of the rapid reloading. That shortens the downtime, but that doesn't eliminate you from being heated or even one shot. And don't forget the melee can do lifesteal. In this case, lifesteal for the Panzer. We don't have a mechanism to lifesteal for the Panzer with guns yet, or lifesteal for the frame itself. So as long as that cycle doesn't complete, we will be swapping among the 2 weapons. As long as I'm meleeing, my Panzer will stay alive and he will keep me alive. The Nukor is still viable at level 300 as long as you aim for the head. I get one-shotted. Level 300, 05. Lazy mode on. Hide in a pit and shoot whatever that comes, and it works. Look at the kill rate. We are still at 80% with all the life support outside. Approaching 120 minutes without breaking a sweat. Enemy level 470. Enemy level 503, 504. If you look at the Arcane proccing, is always on. The same for the Galvanized mods. Level 500, level 644, 670, level 700, level 800, 841, level 1100, level 1200, 172 minutes, level 1000 plus 1200. And this is a random match endurance run. Not bad, huh? Thanks for watching. If you find this helpful, please like, share and subscribe. See you in the next video. Finally, a max rank Merciless. That takes forever. Also a max rank Dexterity.